melodies in my melodies in my soul.
Hello, welcome to the beautiful Boise State Esports Arena. Here tonight, we are to see the NACE playoffs into round 16. Our very own Overwatch team is going to be pushing in to look at defending our champion title. We want to make it all the way to the live finales all the way in Indianapolis, but first, we have to make it through James Madison in order to get to our dreams at the very end of that yellow brick road, I guess you could say. And we're going to be calling all the action here tonight. I'm your host, Colin Junkin, and to join me today is Artemis Rain, our resident Overwatch expert. And to get right into it, as sort of mentioned, we have a lot of pride on the line. Defending champs, of course we want to make it to a LAN. Those are always hype and amazing to play at. With so much pride and so much on the line here, what do the Broncos really need to do to continue the winning streak to get eventually to Indianapolis?
Honestly, it's keeping their egos in check. You can definitely tell when they start to get a little bit too silly because they're too comfortable. And so they need to remember their core mechanics, not to get too big for their britches. And someone just said what on stage, probably in reference to what I just said. And not make silly hero picks, in essence, calling back to what we saw during the Mountain West Championship, deciding to pull out a Bastion on King's Row, peeking too early and getting absolutely eviscerated, and then taking a 1v1 with an Ana in Street Spades and dying early as the Mei. So long as the Broncos focus on their core mechanics and don't get too goofy, they'll be okay.
Because we know the Broncos to be a team when it really gets down to it, and the seriousness of an event that we get to can end up being a rather formidable team to play against, not only in the brain capacity but also in the mechanical capacity as well. We have tanks that can do it. We have tanks that can flex and do it. We have DPS that can take your head off from a mile away on Widow. So we know they can do that. But of course, our keys to the game are dismissible compared to Doc's keys to the game, which in Overwatch is understand your comp, your play style, focus on each fight, get objective or get good ult value, and objective is always greater than kills. The Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop In Gaming. Drop In Gaming is a premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. As we were able to see there from, well, now you're not able to see, but you introduced this to me. Correct me if I'm wrong. We have from at least this shoulder here. Wow, that was embarrassing. This shoulder here on, we have Kel, Matt, Plato, Chosen, then Bagel.
Yes. And you can see our lineup right here, as we just mentioned. Not quite in the exact order that's on stage, but Kel, the one on the far left, followed up Plato. He's the one sitting directly in the middle from what we can see. Matt Mercadante, second from the right from Kel. And then you have Chosen and Bagel actually in the proper spots. So two of them, a little hot swap in the seat position versus what we have listed on screen.
Maybe it's what they're feeling like. But in today's lineups are brought to you by Accounts Identity Trust Global Network. Delivers real-time fraud prevention and account protection and enables personalized customer experiences for more than 9,000 leading brands. We got our stakes, we got the where, we got the when, we got the who's the playing. Now we got to get to the actual playing the game part, which in always is Control is going to be the first game mode that we're going up against. Any map suggestions?
Okay, so the standard pick for the Broncos every time, and even when we had the CEC LAN event and we were talking to other teams, many teams love Lijiang. So, I mean, considering the love that is for that map, it means a lot of teams practice it. So it's kind of a double-edged sword when you want to approach that one. You can take the Broncos to Lijiang, but understand that they normally have to intro on that map. Or you could go a little bit different, and we could start on Oasis, or you could go to Ilios as well. Either way, there's only 3 control maps to pick from, and that's kind of the lack of versatility regarding the map pool in that regard is what makes it a little stinky. And I forgot one, the newest one, Antarctica, and that's actually where we are going.
This is kind of, I mean, at least for me in the competitive scene, this is the first time I'm seeing this played. For me, at least being on desk and casting it and seeing it used at sort of what is supposed to be a very high stakes scenario. But obviously, if these teams are pulling it out, either one's got to be comfortable on this map. Are the Broncos comfortable on this map?
I think they are. There was, initially when this map was dropped, a lot of kind of mixed emotions regarding it. I personally love it, but also keep in mind that Overwatch is not the only game I play. I do play games like Halo, which this map is very reminiscent of some Halo maps according to some people. There's a lot of corridors and a lot of places you can sneak away and get flanks, but it does require a lot of timing from teams. So let's see how this side of James Madison does. We're going to be rolling out for the Broncos on the Winston, Reaper, Hanzo, Lucio, and Ana. The other side's going to be holding out with the Tracer, Ramatra, Ana, Cassidy, as well as that Lucio.
Point yet to unlock. Kel's going to go in for a quick dive. Trying to split this team right now. Ramatra is going to attempt to go for the tempo. Kel might get the pick on the Cassidy. He's going to be able to do it, but traded out by Matt Merck real quick. Going to try and get the dive on the anti-Lucio. Not going to be able to do it, but Bagel's going to get the Ana. That's 2 down for the side of James Madison, where I believe Boise State's only down 1 here. Been able to push them off of point effectively and cap it. Slowly going to go a percent up as James Madison's going to regroup a little bit and attempt to take a second fight, but Bagel's going to go down to the Cassidy.
Unfortunately, Kel was not with Bagel in that instance. They were trying to play clean up through, and they didn't clean up fast enough, and that is where picking up finding those staggers is important, because the re-engage is coming out from James Madison. We don't have the Lucio speed, which is essential for a lot of competitions currently in Overwatch 2. And to compensate for being down 1, we drop the nano boost, we take down the Lucio, we're equalized. Now, we unfortunately lose Matt Merck. Do see Bagel take out Silver. Once again, equal as far as hero power goes, trying to find a target. Looks like Ramatra's the next to go back to spawn.
Ramatra's ability to sort of tank so much with support's assistance is quite amazing, honestly, sometimes. It shocks me how how much you can survive in situations that I don't necessarily believe a lot of tanks should be able to get themselves out of.
The absorbability is grotesque. I agree with that. But nonetheless, Ramatra is situated in the meta perfectly as far as it goes right now. We did just get a new adjustment to everyone. Remember, Season 2, the new season just started. We do lose Matt and Chosen almost immediately. We're going to pop Primal Rage. Plato finds Giga. And Kel did find Silver, so we equalize. Kel's disengaging, grabbing a Mega Pack. Plato will go down to Storm Hornet with some help from the Tracer. Broncos just trying to stabilize a little bit, get some toe touches on point. They lose Kel, so that means the last one on point is going to be Bagel, and he has no choice but to fight to die and get reset with his team.
But still getting 81% still. Pretty high at percentage here. I imagine the Broncos don't feel a whole lot of pressure in order to re-engage this fight as quickly as they need to. They can definitely take their time and regather themselves. As you mentioned, Bagel was sort of fighting to die there, but I didn't see Bagel dying too fast there.
No, that was a bad decision made on the part of our support players. We need to call when the fight is over. Losing our Lucio means we cannot engage. We don't have enough speed between our Reaper and our Ana to keep them alive. Thankfully, we are at last fight territory if the Broncos manage to cap this. They just need to keep in mind they're going into a Tracer Pulse-Up Bomb, Deadeye, almost a Ramatra Annihilation as well as a beat. So this could be a dry fight, or we could see he who ults first will win the fight. They just need to get the essential picks first as the Pulse Bomb is used. Chosen goes down, and that is the main source of kills for the Broncos gone. They will find Silver, and Matt Merck goes down. Beat gets popped. This should be a reset.
Madison to be able to hold onto the point. Plato fighting for their life, not able to save themselves. Bagel is going to go ahead and retreat here. We have 3 Boys 8 players effectively out of spawn zone. Already see the last one. And we heading into the fight here. We do have Nano and Beat to go along here, and we'll have Dragons soon after. But James Madison on the other side also will have their decent fair share of ults that can potentially count.
We engage with the Deadeye. We hear Deadeye, well, with Nano, Deadeye gets popped. We use Beat immediately thereafter. Annihilation gets used as well. We lose Chosen and Matt Merck. Down goes Kel. We're at 84%. Bagel does find the Cassidy, and the Ana is dead. Broncos are still trailing by 1 hero, so they're going to use Dragons to try and equalize the fight, outpaying the ultimate. The payment does not come through, and the debt collector has come for Plato. And unfortunately, Broncos may not even be able to get a touch on this point before it goes to 100%.
Yeah, James Madison able to take it from 0 to 100 in roughly about 3 fights here. We'd say nearly just 19% off getting that point capture.
Really, it came down to not resetting properly and getting coordinated as a group and trying to engage and not end the fight fast enough after we lost our Ana, and then also engaging without the Lucio. Truthfully, you cannot underestimate your opponent, and that was a moment right there highlighting why you don't underestimate your opponent.
Going into it, definitely a key point that I imagine the Broncos will be taking one to heart and hopefully not see the repeat of.
5,
But
4, 3,
everything's a toss up at the end of the day, no?
1.
Most definitely, it's not GG's until the final buzzer goes off. We have a TP out of spawn, north side of James Madison, it looked like, from their Tracer, who went in for a moment. Trying to equalize speed. Broncos trailing because they did not have that Symmetra swap. They pick up the Cassidy, who decided to take an off angle. Reaper just trying to play brute force into the front line. Plato picks up the Tracer, but Matt Merck goes down, getting a little too frontline heavy for the supports that were available at the time.
You would put the shield up, block whatever spam damage is going to happen to Plato. Are going to be able to capture the point. He's getting first point once again. Macho takes a headshot. Not down too many head. The attempt to tempo, get in there. A little bit of back cap happening. I believe that's the Tracer on there, trying to get some backline damage. Gonna blink behind some of our supports. And then the anti-Cal is going to barely be able to survive and get through there.
Did end up losing Plato. The fight is still happening for James Madison, despite them losing one character as well. Tracer gets a couple touches on point, pulls away our Lucio's attention. Some people get a little low, but Kill the Fly ends up going down, so Broncos should be able to maintain for a little bit longer.
Are aware of this Tracer, still trying to be a little bit of a menace. Trying to flank around, not able to do it. It was going to shut that down. We see looking close to some ultimates here as well. Chosen, probably actually is not going to be the first one to get Nano. James Madison has 2 ults online ready to go. So is Boise State now, as they're still attempting to hold this high ground. They're going to go through it. Dragons are pulled out, but Player's going to go down the result, but get the trade. Kel's going to get 2 here.
No ults were popped on the side of James Madison, so they still have that Nano Deadeye. They will have another Pulse Bomb online very soon as well. Beat will probably be fully charged by the time the fight engages here from that Lucio. We see Matt Merck use Wraith to get into that Tracer's face. Bagel finding the final elimination. This really is going to come down to Broncos utilizing ults and their tempo control properly in this next engage, and understanding what ults James Madison wants to use. Losing Matt Merck early, though, is going to make things a little difficult.
Very difficult. Look at James Madison ready to shoot Nano go. It doesn't matter. He has to put into the Ramacho. The Ramacho's going to put in work here. That's the same could be done for Kel. Gets let go down. See, look at the damage here. He is committed as well.
We are at 99%. We've committed beat and annihilation from the Broncos. No one has gone down. The late beat from James Madison is going to be the ultimate nail in the coffin for losing this fight for the Broncos. The second ult typically from Lucio's has a higher probability of winning, and then we commit Death Blossom late after losing our Ana as well. Broncos tossing away ultimates for no reason.
James Madison being this team that has already done it once. Matter if the Broncos are going to be able to pull it through. Bagel was able to reset with team a little earlier this time. Are early engaging without Bagel. But effectively no ults on the board right now. Majorly influence how this plays out, and played it with the flick. It's going to find the James Madison Tracer and put them out of commission.
We are in neutral fight a little bit longer, but the Anas are getting close to their ultimates as we have Plato find a second elimination. That intro pick was huge. They capped the point and forced everyone off. They couldn't get a second touch, and that's map 2 in favor of the Broncos.
Gonna tie this one, take it to number 3 in the sub-map category. Just keeping it close here, keeping it close. They like to keep things entertaining. Keep us on our toes, no? Always predicting a little more than we do. I've definitely not seen this sub-map.
I like this map because there's a jump pad in the back, and it makes a lot of people confused. Right behind this pillar, not everybody knows there's a jump pad, and when I play DPS, I like running over there and hopping up, and then everyone loses where I'm at because people haven't explored the map enough. Let's hope the Broncos do not let any percentage go in favor of the side of James Madison and actually end up winning this one heavy-handedly. We see a swap over to the main. No more Tracer coming out from James Madison. So they're playing more of a brawl comp with a little bit of poke spam coming out from the side of that Hanzo. Broncos relatively the same. They don't have the advantage of the wall. Broncos need to be careful going into this fight.
That wall almost able to catch Kel right there. There's an anti that could have been dangerous if that happened. Getting behind this shield and a lot of damage. There goes the Storm Hornet as well, and Choice is going to get one on the opposing Ana. So far, it looks like James Madison is going to lose his first point.
And that's point cap for the Broncos. As far as ults go, beginning of the fight, oh no! Hanzo RNGesus took the wheel for Silver. Of course, we didn't actually see it on our screen, so I'm going to say it was the RNGesus play. Manages to find Plato. Plato's the closest one to Dragons and the closest ult as far as everybody goes. So that elimination is not good. And then the follow-up elimination on Matt Merck. Full DPS down. This is a disengaged moment for the Broncos as we see Kel get slept. And oh, Plato off respawn, finds Impulse. Can we find the Lucio? We do. Broncos managing to start swinging this back in their favor.
Did like a little bit of a losing fight right there. Plato's also able to get one as well. Bagel goes down. Kel's gonna pop Annihilation. Finish off Storm Hornet. There's the tempo trying to get it, but was slept. Sleeping on the job. Oh!
That's a return favor for what happened earlier, but you gotta do it on the Hanzo. However, taking down Giga. I'm just gonna sleep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna giggle too much if I say the full name. I'm sorry. I have the humor of a 12-year-old.
Oh!
Not a Plato.
Not again.
Plato.
Want to see me do it again?
You need to avenge yourself, my friend.
Perhaps not at the expense of losing the round, but if the opportunity presents itself, let's definitely do it. fight currently happening on point, but all the picks go in the favor of blue right now.
And May goes into cryo. Lucio runs away, drops beat to help deal with the annihilation. May out of cryo gets killed by Matt Merck. Plato finds the kill shot onto Storm Hornet. It's just this Lucio left standing, 83% in favor of the Broncos, but 81% is where we lost first map over to the side of James Madison, so Broncos still need to be careful. This could be the fight flip. However, they're gonna have beat Dragons and Nano engage. We have Nano Death Blossom, which theoretically speaking, if Storm Hornet is way too far forward, we could see a big Beyblade.
Oh, and does be able to get behind, gets Nano as well. Only gonna find one though, but Nano's still in effect. Able to get the second out of Death Blossom for him. Is there a third? Lonzo's gonna wall climb over and avoid. Hell's gonna be able to clean up what's left on point, and now it's just one lonely little tank. And that's again. We're not. Map 1. That's map 1. And Boise State's going to take the W pretty soundly as you wanted to as well. You did say that in the beginning that, you know, Boise State should respectively not allow James Madison to get any percentage here.
They shouldn't have, and map 1 I really think was a case of Broncos underestimating their opponents. They lost core mechanics, they didn't reset as necessary. They dropped ults when the fight was absolutely lost and right in the face of the enemy team. Matt Merck, I'm looking at you with dropping that Death Blossom. I know if I bring it up later in an interview, you're gonna say you don't remember it happening, but that's fine. Kel, shake your head as much as you want, but Matt, you know that that was such a burger play and it should not have happened. With that being, wave at us. With that being said, nicely done Broncos on cleaning it up.
And of course, Ironman National Guard is a proud supporter of Boise State Esports. The top 5 plays are presented by the Ironman National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical winning skills in real time with more than 10 jobs and offering a 20K bonus and a degree of your choice paid for. The Ironman National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. So we close out the first map. Not as soundly as we want. Definitely not a 2-0. We definitely, you know, almost like you sort of called it in the beginning. A little bit, you know, with the controlling the egos, not making a whole lot of, you know, dumb plays and you know, controlling the tempo a lot more, but inevitably able to close it out a little bit. And more than anything, to me, that shows that, you know, BSU, these next 2 maps should be able to soundly take it. I understand map to map it sort of differs, and James Madison might be able to pull something out that's unexpected, but you know, from the performance that the Broncos showed up, should be a closing W soundly.
We're going to say theoretically speaking. Next map, finally, James Madison, I know you probably never heard me say this because watching these broadcasts, I totally get that you'd skip over the commentary from the casters, but I have encouraged teams to dodge King's Row like it is the bubonic plague, and you have successfully done that, picking to go Blizzard World instead. Thank you so much. You've pulled in something that allows a bit more dynamic, a lot more narrative to be said, and just for an update for anyone that's curious, Broncos' current record on Kings Row is 130-7, and 2 of the losses on Kings Row were to UNLV. With that being said, if you're not UNLV, odds are Broncos aren't too scared to face you on that map. Smart choice going somewhere else.
Which jogged my memory real quick. This past weekend was also a matchup against UNLV for the Mountain West Conference, and did UNLV take Kings Row?
No, we won it.
Okay, so we won it. So.
But during CECC, they took Kings Row.
Oh, but during CECC, they took it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then yeah, if you're not UNLV, we're not really worried. You're sort of off to the side for us, but question mark. Definitely something I feel like we've seen before.
Ready for battle.
It's been
A welcome difference in maps.
Yes, very much so.
I can unlock it for you, Karim.
I think that's the one thing I've heard from the most Overwatch casters is seeing a different map when it comes to hybrid is something they like seeing in general.
I adore it.
I'm with you.
Truly. Like, I wouldn't suggest going Paradiso against the Broncos, and I say that because if you know the history, we have Goblin on our squad, and Paradiso first point defense. You pull out a Sigma, you pull out a BAP, you get a Mercy, Hanzo, and a Torbjorn, and best of luck trying to break that defense.
Yes, we have seen the Broncos pull apart Paradiso. I think the last time I remember seeing the Broncos play Paradiso was against Guam in NACE.
The Broncos were hiding and lost and found. We have Matt Merck on the Sombra, Hack Ana. Full team engaged. They did take high ground, but it doesn't really matter. Gig is down. Winston is insanely low. Preying on the Fuda from the Kiriko. Oh, but there is an enemy Sombra. We hear Chosen screaming. Sombra translocates out. Tracer's still here, and Chosen is still crying.
Stand up straight.
Able to escape. Boise State able to pull one up on James Madison. They were not able to convert a hack kill, but Boise State was able to drop, I think, what, like four players on enemy Ana?
Yeah, it's all about who's there to engage. Tracer and a Sombra can't do too much when the rest of the team posts up to protect an Ana. Impulse, half health, I believe, did force recall as well. Bagel still chilling out here inside of Lost and Found near the Sombra to help pick off this Ana, but Diva predicted it, and Kiriko, Bagel gets hacked to prevent the ability to swift step out, comes back online just in time to save that Kiriko's life. Kel now looking to reverse step and get out of the way, get some healing up around main statue.
That was, yeah, that was very close.
That was an adjustment from James Madison.
Yeah, that was. That Sombra sort of keeping a close eye on a play they were attempting to make. Not going to pull any plays out right now. Since we're just sitting around here. And they get spotted out there and went pretty low on the HP levels.
The other thing that James Madison has done is they made another adjustment. They swapped the Kiriko in favor of going with that Brigitte. Brig, just chronically using Flail off cooldown, swinging your mallet off cooldown, can keep a Sombra at bay, but they do end up, Broncos do end up picking off Impulse, and it's most likely going to be a reset for James Madison. Bagel doing some pepper damage up onto the high ground on left-hand side. Diva dives in towards the Mega Pack to try and thwart off Bagel. Pulse gets dropped, and Kill the Fly ends up going down to Plato's Pulse Bomb.
Hammer finding themselves low once again here. A little bit of dive on this Ana. Not going to be able to find the elimination though. The enemy Sombra as well was low for a little bit there. They are also going to make the switch here as well.
That's 3 different heroes between 2 different deaths. That is never really a good sign for any team.
Hack and the EMP went out. Plato and Bagel are going to get one. Mammoth was able to get out there safely. Oh, Kill the Fly is not going to be able to crouch yourself to safety. He's going to go down as well, and that's a complete reset for the side of James Madison. They have 4 ults online. If they don't manage to win this fight, I'm going to be dearly confused. But they have about a minute left here.
Truthfully, if I were them, I'd say use our Ana as bait, let them engage on us, drop the EMP on our heads, and throw a self-destruct that comes in from the high ropes. They did take down Bagel, and we see a hack onto the nano-boosted Diva.
And EMP committed as well. The Tracer fight is breaking out here. Pulse is going to dive out. Kel's going to get one, but Stormhorn's going to get the trade as well. And that's Kel out of mech.
They do not have their Ana. Lucio 80% on B. Chosen goes down. Pulse is committed by Plato to get Kill the Fly, so no supports are available currently for the side of James Madison, which means Broncos can get a touch in here if people make it out alive and don't get too hard staggered. We've hit the second check mark. There's the Kitsune Rush to help for extra sustain on point, but Kel needs to get a touch on quickly. And there's a self-destruct to cope with at the same time, and Bagel! Bagel blows up to a Diva Bomb. Stop looking at it, we're not moms.
Yeah. Ooh, bright light. How distracted it was. Supposed to be recontest to stop it all. James Madison only, though, has 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Matt being chased down. You can hear the screams in the background. He's going to be able to escape for the time being. Not a whole lot of time that I think James Madison would like to have here, but I've also seen teams get it in less.
It's plenty of time, honestly, especially if you know that you're playing just to make it to the next checkpoint, not play to have extra time in your time bank. It adjusts the playstyle. It means you have to commit to playing around card a little bit more, but it is doable. They still have beat. They're coming up on EMP. Broncos are going to have Pulse, EMP, and self-destruct as long as Kel doesn't get DMAX. Kel does after diving into the team, not anticipating the Sombra hack. Kel just going to stay in Pilot Diva form, try to get that mech recharged.
Instead of going on the flank, there's EMP activated there. Impulse going to have to pick on a very low HP Plato. Matt Merck's going to be able to TP out, and that's Kel also going down. It's going to be a little bit of a retreat, but just a boot. Oh! And the pick on a Pilot Diva. not going to change the course of how things happen there, but connected frag.
The tragic truth is Chosen's going to die, but Bagel has the opportunity to get out alive with that swift step. But Bagel goes down to kill the fly anyway. Plato with Pulse Bomb, guarding around this high ground with the D.Va, looking for a last-minute opportunity to engage. Self-destruct still online. We do have Nano almost online. Kitsune Rush will be up first for Giga versus Bagel, who's only at 61%. That Kitsune Rush could be the game changer, the fight win here as we whiff Pulse Bomb. Self-destruct is also committed to try and zone, doesn't find anybody nor any damage. There's Suzu. Can they find this Kiriko? Kiriko is super low, but Plato can't find them. Finally, they do around the corner. Pilot D.Va goes down. 38 seconds left. It's time to swap over to Fast Heroes and get ready to touch the point.
There's a little bit of time to find the footing, but the Broncos are eventually able to do it and put a stop to this objective, moving towards the next checkpoint here. 20 seconds left. James Madison starts the rollout here. Not a whole lot of changes in the terms of characters are going to get there faster here. Storm is EMP'd, and that could be able to go somewhere. They're kind of stuck behind this pillar right now. All they got to do is touch the point once.
Ooh, and they had a stomp. But no, that was our stomp. Never mind. Pulse Bomb goes off, does not find Chosen. EMP on the high ground. There is one touching cart while this fight is happening. So that means they bought themselves a little bit of extra time. There's self-destruct from Storm Hornet. The question is, will anyone die to it? I think we might lose Mech, but no. Broncos all live. No one goes down. Just before the second point, James Madison will end the first round.
Not as decisive as an end as Boise State's able to do it, but nevertheless, a very clear and easy goal for Boise State to get here. I don't think Boise State will have as much trouble as James Madison did getting through the choke point here and getting onto point. Boise State, did a really effective job of picking an annoying James Madison to the point where they can never really take a fair fight, I guess, when a dog sees the game. It always felt very pulled apart, and I think that's honestly what Boise State does really well to teams that also can't do the same thing of play together very often. I don't think ever been this is the first time. Oh, it's a timeline. Oh.
There's a lot of
Thank you, production.
real world nods to people throughout the various maps.
Well, it is Blizzard World, so I guess, yeah. I should have made that connection a little earlier, but not my main game. So I'm going to use that as my excuse.
That's valid.
Madison looks to be having the same sort of comp. Yeah, they're going to have the exact same comp. But the Boise State Broncos are going to bring out the Winston here to boot. Oh, I got debated. Absolutely debated. It's a D.Va.
Of course it's a D.Va.
Is D.Va the most effective tank to have here on this map?
I mean, considering the composition the Broncos are playing with, you could go D.Va. Theoretically, you could go Wrecking Ball, but you might leave some people hanging.
Here, like I said, Boise State not finding a whole lot of trouble here to get towards point. No attempt to get on the point has been made here, but there are no picks found yet. Kel forcing this D.Va into a corner here. The hack goes through it. The D.Va gets D-megged. Now it's in pilot form. Kel gets slept, but is going to be brought back quickly. Bagel's also going to get a pick onto the Sombra, and Kel's going to get one on the D.Va. And that's going to look like the point for Boise State.
First fight win and possibly full cap off of it, but they did stagger the side of James Madison, which could lead them into an opportunity to get another engage, especially taking out Bagel, who did not swift step fast enough to get out of danger in a 2v1 situation. That is a dog's key. Never take a fair fight. If it's not a fair fight for the enemy team, it's fine. But if it's you who's in that situation, you need to get the heck out. We have a re-engage at 97.2% from the side of James Madison. Looks like they'll be able to possibly fully defend this with that Pulse Bomb going out and finding nobody.
On the Sombra, able to TP away there. This baby D.Va, so many small hitboxes here. Plato's going to go down as well. James Madison definitely making Boise State fight for it right now. The hack's going to go through. Kel also antied as well. Not going to be able to gain back too much HP to continue this fight. And that's James Madison holding off Boise State. And we get 2 ticks here and the hack goes off, and they're going to get the stagger onto Bagel here.
That fight should have ended long before that.
pick on the bagel gave them a window to just absolutely collapse on the Boise State there. Separate fighting so far. Ooh, the EMP goes off.
The sleep on the key on that poor Sombra. Unfortunately, still lose two. Do remove Mac. But Kel is at 65 health, and this is a scary fight to be in. Come on, better Pilot Diva. Did have support of your Kiriko, but that's okay. Unfortunately, you go down to a two-man firing squad. Plato's going to post up, try and force the Sombra out of Lost and Found. Has to recall, so is unsuccessful. Finally, the force comes through. Still down our Diva, not an opportunity to engage, but a chance to gain soft space without a hard commit on a fight.
Should have 4 ults committed to this fight as well, but so James Madison will have 2 as well. Bagel's going to get an early pick. Stormheart is going to get the trade as well. They're trying to find one, get behind the team. There's that bomb here committed. No hard engagement committed by Boise State yet, but James Madison put a lot of pressure on Boise State right now.
I mean, we're down. Our Kiriko can't really fully commit to the fight. They have 41 seconds, which is roughly enough time for a single fight, but this one's dragging out a long time. We're going to nano our Tracer, commit self-destruct. Plato goes down with the nano. We're going to use Kitsune Rush and Suzu to keep Kel inside of mech. Matt Merck is still alive here. Does have EMP almost online. Kitsune Rush is going to expire. Gigafart for the side of James Madison finally goes down. This majority heals gone for them, but we lose Kel. This is a scrappy fight to say the least for the Broncos with 13 seconds left on the clock.
Ooh, the EMP goes off. Gonna be able to get one. Is there a second? Hold up to this corner, a bomb.
The pulse was huge.
Bullswamp able to find one, and now just a lonely James Madison DPS not gonna be able to do it. Forced into overtime here. Boise State gonna be able to cap the point. Same time that James Madison got here. It really is about as even as you can make it. Gonna be looking to see how Boise State, you know, first checkpoint is basically your objective here. A couple meters less, but basically.
I really think this comes down to not losing people. I mean, Sombra can get back quickly, Trace can get back quickly, but losing one of our supports too early before a fight is fully instigated is really what kind of messed up the Broncos for capping first point so quickly.
Just in case.
Let's hope that they use cooldowns properly and don't overstay their welcome.
Looks like so far, Broncos are being a little safe with it. Madison not hard to. Yes, Matt Mork does get the EMP. He's going to be able to D-Mac the Diva here, but find themselves in a little bit of trouble. Players going to go in for the assist, but it's finding themselves in between a whole lot of danger right now. 125 HP, going to be able to go back. It's so much damage potential. Going to get 2 though. It is going to be traded out though, and EMP fully committing to it.
And the beat still is able to get online. But it's Pilot Diva. Pilot Diva versus Max Diva with full health. This time Kel does not lose his Mac. Toki is safe once again.
You're meters away. Oh, and there is no touch. The TP away. Nobody was able to get back in time. And that's going to be Boise State. What looked a little choppy in the beginning, let's be honest, it gave us a little bit of a fright. But once they got the point, it was as easy. Yeah, this was solely the play that sort of made it possible. The EMP, absolutely massive there.
All right, next is Escort.
Next is Escort, which I will ask Matt predictions in a second. I do want to pick your brain about. There was some news given earlier before. Lifeweaver's not available for this, not eligible for this specific game. However, though, in the finals, Lifeweaver becomes eligible to be played in the NACE tournament. I know it's risky, and it's probably not going to happen, but if the Broncos continue to practice with Lifeweaver over probably what would be the next 2 or 3 weeks-ish, could you see Lifeweaver potentially having position in the Boise State comp?
So this comes with a caveat. Lifeweaver currently has really low healing output. And that is where it gets a little shaky, because that means you have to commit a very, very heavy support to counter the lack of heals that are coming out of Lifeweaver. Yes, theoretically speaking, you can charge Lifeweaver ultimate very quickly, but that's predominantly doing a lot of damage. And it looks like for our escort point, we'll be going to Circuit Royale. But with that being said, Lifeweaver, just with the lack of heals, that means you have to commit a Baptiste. You're going to have to commit an Ana. And it means you are on nothing but heal bot duty. You're not going to add value to the fights beyond keeping people alive. And that is my biggest concern. Unless there is an adjustment made to Lifeweaver, I do not foresee teams fully utilizing Lifeweaver in the essence that the devs want them to, because he just is not going to provide the level of heals that are necessary to keep people alive.
Yeah, I can see that. And then also, I guess, Brig changes as well.
Yeah. Brig's changes are interesting. Side note for everyone, we are pulling up the roster here. You can see Bagel there on the far right. He is our main support player being pulled out and swapped in for Lyric instead. Other than that, everyone else will remain the same as we go into Circuit Royale. Now, back to Brigitte. At the beginning of Overwatch 2, everyone but Ana basically had... So, Ana had CC with her sleep, and then Orisa has her Javelin for CC to some extent, as does Doomfist with his punch. That was it. That's all you got. No more flashbang, nothing like that. Brig couldn't stun. Brig gets stunned back, and it's way worse. Remember the days of Brigitte after she broke the game and they tried to fix it after introducing the 222 roll log? They made it so you could not shield bash through a Reinhardt shield. Well, Brig now gets a shield as big as Reinhardt's with 1,000 health. She gets 100 extra health, and she gets shield bash back that actually stuns.
And gives a positive effect to teammates as well.
Yes, because it procs Inspire. So, if you want to run a Brawl style comp, which you typically aren't going to be running on Circuit Royale, she could theoretically get a little broken in some instances. Raid boss is back.
Yeah, Raid boss is looking alive for the couple of seconds that the ultimate is alive. And of course, we're seeing the sniper, seeing the Widow come out, but traditionally, personally, I get to see a Goblin on it. So I'm a little excited to see Matt Merck pull up the snipes, but I'm not disappointed as Matt Merck's going to find 2 here.
Well, important to note, if you saw during Matt Merck's play of the game, he had the player title of Grandmaster Sleuth. That means he hit Grandmaster in Mystery Heroes competitive play. So he's pretty well-rounded on every hero currently, even in the most cattywampus busted comps that could possibly exist.
That's actually a very valid, trait or sort of characteristic to have to your ability to play on a very team-based game, that you're able to just be the fill role no matter what.
I personally finally did my Q games for Mystery Heroes comp last night and only played Quick Masters. I couldn't get past game 5 because my Q times got too big, so I commend you, Matt Merck. We have a battle of the Sigmas here at the corner. No one's getting any elevation change advantage here. It's very curious to see how the double snipers this is mirror composition. This comes down to a game of mistakes.
Yeah. So far, Oasis been able to find James Madison's mistakes. The double snipers comp able to find 2 heads and force James Madison back right now. Sight's going to be able to use. Is there a second able to be found? Immortality field will go up. That denies the ability to get that sniper the one-shot headshot. James Madison gets pushed all the way back. And they have to reset here. Kel pretty far forward, getting discorded here. He's going to use the absorb. He's going to be able to get away here and maintain high ground.
Broncos need to get this. Yeah, I was about to say need to get this lift off quickly. They know that they don't have immortality. The Zen doesn't have trance yet, so we pick up 2 with it. Can we find this Sigma who has the Harmony Orb, no more Orb of Discord on him? Use the accretion, doesn't find anything, but Lyric finally clears out Storm Hornet.
Ooh, Lyric going for the 1v1. The Widow is going to say, nope, I'm dipping out here.
It's not worth my life.
No. In some cases, I think Lyric might be a little more deadly on the Zen, especially in a room. Dragons is committed as well, going to buy James Madison some space here to finally get back on point here. Not much time, though, because Boise is right back on it and contesting. They're just extremely low.
Lyric needs to stay safe considering Storm Hornet has that lift online. They commit Flux as well as Ant Matrix. There goes our Transcendence as well as our Immortality. The Immortality from the side of Madison was also expelled. Opportunity to swing things in our favor using this Ant Matrix. Not quite put as far forward as the Broncos would like, but it'll give them cover and extra heal. And we do find Impulse and send Giga back to spawn as well as kill the Fly.
And it's just looking like a team wipe here for the side of Boise State. This Widow's going to be able to not escape the grasp. No, it would have been a team wipe. Oh. They're bashing, attempting to go across the spawn doors there. Dies. Sight is committed. Boy, in this corner here, James Madison not even gained a whole lot of ground at only 20 seconds left.
Matt Merck is taking a very bold angle as the Sigma has decided to capitalize on where a Widow normally would stand on offense. Zen tries to use Kinetic Grasp to get some extra love from the enemy team's damage. Can't find anything. Lyric rounds the corner, throws a volley. Trance to possibly hit point, but we did see the rock committed from Kel, forcing him back. Ain't no way anyone's going to get a touch on this payload. Oh, wait, no, there was a Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball is able to come in and get a touch, trying to buy as much time for the team. Oh, Silversign able to find two. This might be the break that James Madison was looking for. Still alive, still pushing this point. They're going to get the third here. And that's James Madison keeping it alive, unless Boise State's able to get a last-second touch here.
Infrared sights have been instigated as well. 2 Wrecking Balls, 1 from each team. Question is, will Kel even try to get a touch on this point? It is 7 meters off right now. Kel is on it, but at 118 health. Proc the Immortality from Chosen. Matt Merck goes down. He swapped to the Symmetra to try and get his teleporter out for his team. Kel goes down. We have Dragons crossing payload. Chosen's dropped, and it looks like that is back off time for the Broncos.
Again, Boise State found in these positions, keeping it so close, and just mere seconds away from being able to capitalize, and a dive by Impulse is going to be absolutely punished with a kick in the face by Lyric here.
8 health. I really thought Lyric's throwing the volley was going to be Lyric's own death because the deflect was instigated. Thankfully, it was not. We have Transcendence online. Pulse Bomb almost ready as well as Window. We hear the shot from Silver. Silver will go down to Matt Merck on the Tracer. Matt's trying to mark the ball. We hear Genji use the blade. There's no nano. Trance is out. Basically negates any damage Genji can do. Broncos pushing into the front line and sending everyone back to the spawn doors.
Minute 30. Searching for this Sombra. Did find it for a little bit. Gonna be able to get away, and so is Matt Merck with 8 HP as well. Trying to get the jump on this Bap. He's gonna force out Immortality, but it doesn't matter. This Bap is sent right back to the spawn doors. And this is that confidence that we talked about a while ago, that I feel like every time we've been on Circuit Morel, or at least casting it, that Boise has really no fear holding so close to spawn doors. When it comes to teams that they know they can sort of bully a little bit.
Well, the thing you got to think about here is with this map, it is an instance of, yet again, defense auto-defaults to high ground control. So you back off, where do you go? You don't go low ground. You end up getting a high ground positioning while you're backing off. It gives you even more of an advantage. However, we will lose Plato. We see Mines and Ant Matrix committed. Matt Merck's pushed into the Mines. Lyric goes down. It is just Chosen currently on payload. Chosen goes down as well. That was a significant stall. There's 39 seconds left, but the issue coming into this is that for the Broncos, they're going to have to face an EMP that's almost online. They will be close to Trance, but that's going to shut down Kel's ability to move around much and Matt Merck's ability to move around, as Matt Merck is desperately trying to find this Sombra.
James Madison has displayed the ability to put themselves in these clutch situations and carry them out. Matt trying to get an early pick here. He's going to be able to find it. Players are going to get the elimination on Impulse, though. However, Dragon 6 committed as well. Going to get some spacing, some separation to the James Madison players. That's a ball that's really low. And Storm is going to go down. And overtime, is there a touch? Immortality goes out, but there's simply not.
The EMP that came online for Silver, I
they translocated out to try and get health up. Honestly, I think if they just committed their life and the EMP at the same time, it might have worked out better and more in their favor. Unfortunately, though, just up the top of the hill is where the Broncos have to go. Ultimately, this is going to be a battle of what's between the DPS, because snipers truly make this map either accessible or completely denied.
James Madison found a little more success when they, I mean, I guess their snipers originally gave them the opening that allowed them to push towards checkpoint, but once they got that checkpoint, they definitely swapped off of it, where I think Boise State might stick with that composition because they're so comfortable with it.
I really got to give some credit here. These snipers for the side of James Madison, I mean, yeah, we'll see ours pick 1 and 2 players up, but then their wits get the better of them. They push up, take a very bold corner, or right in the face of the enemy team position, because they believe that that is where they deserve to stand after taking those 2 kills, and then get eviscerated. Whereas these DPS for the side of James Madison have self-control. They get those 2 picks, they back off, they heal up, they take a new position, they look for picks again. They do not, to be blunt, get egotistical at the moment.
And I think you summed it up perfectly. I think it's mainly because these James Madison DPS and other DPS that we've faced in the past that have presented similar abilities.
Discipline is important.
Yeah. They understand it. You know, I think Boise State players understand the importance of it. Oh! Now we're going down to a well-timed attack. Zen there. Oh, but a dink.
Oh, Zen ain't gonna peek again. He's gonna use that the sympathy heal, the support passive to heal up and drop down. Smart move, Zen. This is what I'm talking about, though. If Plato rounds this corner, doesn't stay on the high ground, we could see a bad situation. But he's going to keep his wits about him, stay on the high ground. Sees the Widowmaker with that Sonic Arrow. We do lose Lyric, though. That is a huge issue, because that Orb of Discord is how you keep the tank at bay, and that Orb of Harmony is how you equalize it. It's kind of a null fight until your DPS start getting picks and then are able to address damage onto that tank.
Really low Hans on their side, not able to go down yet. Accretion gets committed. This Hanzo on the side of James Madison just able to, for all that it's worth, stay alive.
That was a lot of attention. I think double immortalities were committed, 1 from each side. Stormhorn has swapped off from the Sigma. Impulse is swapping over to Tracer, similar to what we saw from the Broncos themselves on defense, but they're, okay, I was like, they're not pushing payload. They finally are pushing payload, most likely going to be able to get this. We do see Ball has decided to touch the last second. We've got a Widow versus Widow duel, once peeking under the barricade, which not everyone realizes you can't shoot through, but Lyric, as well as Kel and Plato, will find Storm Hornet, so the front line is currently gone, as will Kill the Fly. Giga goes down, and Plato and Lyric are also down.
Trying to find some spacing to perhaps get a pick, cheeky little pick on this Widow. Is going to be able to find it.
Use the Inmore to make sure he would not die. See, like, I get it, I understand, but is it really necessary? Guess by the time the next fight starts, it'll be alright, it'll be back online. We do have a lift. There's going to be a counter Transcendence, possibly a late immortality coming out from the side of James Madison. Don't really have anything to pair with it, though. That's the problem for the Broncos. It's not going to do much, especially after losing Matt Merck, who's the person who's able to get those picks in the air, and we lose Plato, so that's, yeah, no go. That is advance in the opposite direction.
But eventually cut them off. They're trying to predict where this Tracer's going to go. Not even going to be able to do it. Trying to protect Lyric here. Shield is going to go out, but nevertheless, Lyric is going to go down. And looking, it's going to be a full reset from the side of Boise State, but now James Madison's going to play the part of camping the doors a little bit, or maybe not. Maybe a little bit, maybe halfways.
Well, they can't do it as much as the Broncos did previously, because the one thing that is different about their composition is James Madison has chosen to hang on to this Widowmaker, which I do not fault. Their Widowmaker is getting the essential picks when necessary and is surviving as much as possible. So that but that gives up the opportunity for space control. Helix Rocket will find Impulse, and that goes down shortly thereafter.
Amp Matrix is committed. We use the Flux to keep them at the enemy team at bay. Also forces out Trance, but we lost Plato as well. So no DPS for the Broncos, and enemy lift is committed, forcing out our Trance in an already lost fight.
A little bit of spacing here. I think as much punishment as one would think. Kel gets accretion there. Plato starts out trying to find a snipe here. Not going to be able to find any connections. Silverstein's going to get the melee kill on Matt Merck. Plato's going to get the trade, though, on a support here.
Plato trying to find this Widow. They grapple to safety. Sights are up, so Plato's got to peek carefully. Does find Gig. Can they get the Tracer? Oh, none of them touched.
There was no touch by no James Madison player. Seems to be a little bit of a common trend that happened last match in this map as well. But nevertheless, Boise State able to make it past round 16.
And Matt Merck gets play of the game again.
Yeah, this is the part where I was like, this is a welcome change to see Matt Merck, and then Matt Merck proceeded to get 3. Like, yeah, you know, I'm pretty good at what I do.
That shot on the Widow was crispy.
Yeah, no, yeah, that challenge was nice. Almost like they see it like 1,000 times. They just sort of know. You know, it's just sort of like, yeah, I know you're going to be there. Like,
some of us might know life Overwatch here. It's totally fine and acceptable.
Chosen taking a...
I'm totally kidding. I'm fine. I just play way too much Overwatch.
There's some pain behind that smile. Yes. Some pain behind that smile. That's what Overwatch will do to you. That's what any game will do to you, honestly, if you play it enough. But Boise State able to prevail, make it past round 16, make it past James Madison. They're one step closer to accomplishing the dream of defending the champion status that we have gained last semester previously for the NACE tournament and heading to a LAN in Indianapolis. Player of the game. I know you love to spread the love around. I know that's the philosophy, but
I don't think we can here.
You know you can?
You know what?
Be blunt.
Just because I saw this person screw up the least. Because this one player screwed up the least, I'm giving it to Kel. I don't care what production says. I will happily be wrong. But Kel, you have my vote for the second time in a row. If it's not you, I'm sorry, but you messed up the least. Of course I'm wrong.
But even if you mess up the least, if you're putting up the most clips, it's kind of hard for production to ignore you.
I get it. But Kel, in spirit, you are my ICCU player of the game.
Fair. It's totally
fair.
In
my heart, it is you.
But Matt Merck is going to be the ICCU player of the game. The player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes the team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Matt Merck is your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. A big GG's James Madison and a GG's to Boise State. Able to take it a round further and hopefully another round further until you reach the very end.
Yes, we've made it to, this was round of 16 single limb, so we're going to round of 8 next. And then it's round of 4, and then it's championships. Let's do this. Easy. Click heads, give value, and don't die. It's as simple as that.
Oh, I actually didn't see Matt Merck got Sonic over there. Something the play of the game did not show you. So before we close out, we do have a little bit of surprise for us tonight. After the top 5, we will see some more player interviews with some of our very cherished Overwatch players that we're going to have today. But anything to close out before we see a little bit of top 5?
Honestly, remember what a lost fight is, and remember you can soft reset and full reset. That's my words of advice and wisdom. Also, to piggyback off one of my friends from earlier today, one person going in and dying is feeding. 2 people going in and dying is strategy. Always work with your team.
Love to hear. I'm going to steal that line for the future. And, of course, we're going to see the top 5 plays of the game presented by the Idaho National Guard, who invites you to take your Pretzel critical skills into real time with more than 10 jobs, offering a 20K bonus and a degree of your choice paid for by the Idaho National Guard. They're the best team out for you. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. As I said, we're going to see some player interviews after these top 5, so don't go anywhere. See you after these. Set here. Kel pretty far forward, getting discorded here. He's going to use the absorb. He's going to be able to get away here and maintain high ground.
Broncos need to get this. Yeah, I was about to say need to get this lift off quickly. They know that they don't have immortality, and the Zen doesn't have trance yet. So pick up 2 with it. Can we find this Sigma who has the
Boise State found in these positions, keeping it so close, and just mere seconds away from being able to capitalize, and a dive by Impulse is going to be absolutely punished with a kick in the face by Lyric here.
8 health. I really thought Lyric throwing the volley was gonna.
Pillar right now, all they got to do is touch the point once.
Ooh, and they had a stomp. No, that was our stomp. Never mind. Pulse bomb goes off, does not find Chosen. EMP on the high ground. There is one touching cart while this fight is happening. So that means they bought themselves a little bit of extra time. There's self-destruct from Storm Hornet. The question is, will anyone die to it? I think we might lose Mech, but...
Point yet to unlock. Kel's going to go in for a quick dive. Trying to split this team right now. Mantra is going to attempt to... Going to go for the tempo. Kel might get the pick on the Cassidy. He's going to be able to do it, but traded out by Matt Merck real quick. Going to try and get the dive on the anti-Lucio. Not going to be able to do it, but Bagel's going to get the Ana.
He goes down. This majority of heals gone for them, but we lose Kel. This is a scrappy fight, to say the least, for the Broncos with 13 seconds left on the clock.
Ooh, the MP goes off. Going to be able to get one. Is there a second? Hold up to this corner and bomb.
The pulse was huge.
Pulse bomb able to find one, and now just a lonely James Madison.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We just finished up our round of 16 NACE playoff game against James Madison. Broncos ended up winning in a 3-0, closing everything out on... Oh my gosh, our boys are silly. Anyway, I digress. I am here on Dusk with one of our game winners, our tank player, Kel. All right, Kel, so I gotta ask. Give me your thoughts about Blizzard World.
Blizzard World. My team was trolling. Brian was calling some crazy plays, telling us they're going to go bottom left. They didn't go bottom left. He said they're going to do it second fight. They didn't do it second fight. We still managed to pull out the win, though, so still proud of the guys.
Okay, so despite this one right here actively trolling,
Yeah.
he did end up getting the pulse bomb at the end, which kind of did secure that first point.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, Matt kind of set him up for that with the EMP. He kind of decided to press Q, so I don't know how much credit I'm going to give him, but I guess it was a good play.
You know, raising that ring finger and moving it to the Q
Yeah.
button, it takes a lot of work. Okay, so what does the team need to do to have the back-to-back, NACE championship title? We got it in the winter. Can we get it in the spring as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely can. I think it's going to come down to, still being able to get prepped, get our practice in, and feel good, with finals and stuff
Made
going
here,
on.
but there are no
All the
picks
teams
found
gotta
yet.
deal with
Hell,
it, just so do we.
Forcing this.
Take a look here at
corner, the hack goes
the
through.
last,
The
beginning
trouble
fight
here.
where you guys
Towards
should
point.
have won.
Shows
What went
the
wrong
point has
here?
been
What
made
did
here, but
go
there are no
wrong?
picks found yet.
Bagel,
Hell,
do you remember what happened? Was Bagel there?
Even to a corner, the
Yeah,
hack goes
I
through.
want to see the
Steve
Bagel
gets
can of
Steve
him walking
Now
out
some
for
pilot
points,
Kel
the
gets
enemy
slept,
spawn
but
and
going to be
dying.
brought back quickly.
1v5.
Bagel's also going to get a pick onto the
yeah.
Sombra, and Kel's going to
Yeah,
get
I
one
definitely
on
called
Diva.
that moment out
Pretty
as
far
well.
forward, getting discorded
People
here.
got too big for their britches. This first flux that you ended up having here on Circuit Royale. Absolutely huge. I called it to Colin, and I said we have to use this flux now. They almost have chance. We forced out Immort. It was massive.
Yet. So pick up 2
Yeah,
with it.
I knew I had to do it when they were
The
crossing
Sigma
over.
who has the Harmony Orb. No more Orb goes down. This majority of heals gone for them.
Oh,
But we
oh
lose
my gosh.
Kel. This is a
Flashback back to
scrappy
this
fight, to
horrible
say the least, for the
experience.
Broncos.
We did
13
lose you
seconds
early
left
on, and now I
clock.
have to bring it up as well. I'm sorry if this gives you some PTSD. You lost a Diva duel.
Second. Hold
Oh,
on.
I didn't
Oh,
lose no
the pulse
Diva
was
duel.
huge.
Show me the clip.
So I'm able to find
There are
one,
2
and
clips.
Now just alone.
One, the first one, you die in. The second one, you live, but then you die to the Sombra.
Okay, well then I didn't lose the duel.
You lost the
Then
first Diva duel.
That's
You won the second
interference.
duel.
That's interference if there was a Sombra.
Oh, okay. So you're claiming that the first duel was 1-on-1 though, and you lost it.
I didn't see it. I don't
You-
believe it.
You are just as
I
bad as
don't-
Matmer.
I don't believe it. Propaganda.
Propaganda aside, do you have any shout-outs you would like to give, Kel?
I'd like to shout out Chosen John, co-captain here today. He really stepped up on Blizzard World. Started calling some fight plans. He saved us in the clutch.
When everyone starts to get a little bit silly, they need someone to wrangle them all in and act as the team lead. So thank you, Chosen, for doing that for us. With that being said, that is the end of our first interview here with Kellen McGurkin. Thank you so much for your time on desk, Kel. Excited to see what the Broncos have in the future. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with our next player interview, so don't go anywhere.
It's me, your Idaho Central Credit Union app. Rough morning. Is that a mobile deposit? I got this. Beat it, Charlie. We're making money moves here. Cha-ching. And done.
Charlie, come on, outside.
Sorry about the mess. I'd help if I had hands. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Hello and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You are watching our post-game coverage of the NACE playoffs. Broncos made it through the round of 32. Now they've made it to the round of 16 and on to round of 8 and hopefully to make it to the NACE LAN at the beginning of the summer. My name is Artemis Rain and joined on desk with me is going to be Chosen John Ranella, aka the person that wrangled the team on Blizzard World. And I hate to bring up bad memories, but tell me, what the heck was going wrong on Blizzard World?
There was a lot going wrong. For one, we had a large bagel on Kiriko, a large burger. Not experienced in that hero, wasn't playing with our Tracer, leaving Brian out to dry. But that's not an excuse for Plato. He was playing terrible on Tracer as well. Yeah, barely positive for most of the match. I wasn't holding tab, I don't know. Kel, like you said, wasn't winning his duels on Diva. Embarrassing, that's his one trick, and I played perfectly.
Yes, you absolutely played perfectly. There was a sleep on an EMP on a Sombra that unfortunately
Didn't
EMP
get killed.
did go
Yep,
off.
I
It
remember
didn't
that.
get killed. It made me sad, but I called it out. It was a nice sleep. Okay, so besides everyone being burgers on our team, what do these guys need to do going into the rest of the NACE series to make it to that playoffs and reclaim the title?
Well, despite the burgering going
There's a
on,
lot
there was
of
some good stuff, such as our clutches on first point. I think all the players on the team, we look up to people like Tom Brady, people who are clutch in the fourth quarter, and that's what we were able to do on first point. And I think we bring that into our future matches, and we'll be doing really well.
We might actually have a
Like,
moment
give
of
them
silence
an
here.
extra
No,
heal.
okay, we're swapping over
Find
to
impulse and
the
send
Circuit
it.
Royale
Take high
map.
ground, but it doesn't
Nope,
really
back
matter.
to the
Take
PTSD
it down.
inducing moment of
Winston is insanely
engaging in
low.
this first fight. You
Preying
guys
on the
should have
foot up
had this
from
point
the
locked
Kiko.
down and things just started
Oh,
to
there
go
is
down
an enemy
south after people
Sombra.
got too far forward.
I'm
We
getting
hear
triple
Chosen
dove,
screaming,
kinda weird.
Sombra translates
It's out. Tracer's still here, and Chosen is still crying. It was nice to see the side of James Madison try to do what you guys did to their enemy Ana, but our team actually turn around and help you.
That was all my movement.
I'm sorry, guys. I tried to give you some love.
I'm untouchable.
This is what we have to work with here. Okay, so that aside, do you have any shout-outs that you'd like to give to anyone, loved one, someone watching, anything like that?
Shout out to my parents, being supportive of my gaming career all the time. Shout out Zerda, she's probably watching. Definitely not these guys.
That's valid. All right, well, I actually have a shout out. Thank you, Grandpa, for stopping in and watching as well, and thank you, Mom. To everyone who's currently watching, thank you so much for joining us for our NACE playoff coverage. If you want to stick around, we'll have more NACE, but it's going to be Valorant in just a bit. Colin will be back on desk as well as myself, so if you want to stick around for that, please do. We look forward to having all those bright and smiling faces in the chat room. For now, have a great evening, and we'll see you all later with more Valorant.